people.
You look like the goddamn Unabomber.
There you go. Boom.
Actually, spot on for a Unabomber.
From the poster, yeah.
Yeah, from the poster. I mean, obviously, you don't look anything like Ted Kaczynski. Well, I don't know. If you 20 years from now with a beard and a little bit more isolationism.
The nose is off.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big Kaczynski fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then welcome to the Conspiracy City podcast, people. I've got a Kaczynski fan here. So
hey, number one.
We can do that.
Number one fan. Been following him since I found out who he was, a couple years ago.
after that thing he did.
Well, I was born in '93, so I didn't know any of that shit.
That's true. Yeah, you were a kid when all that stuff was going on.
Well, at the end of it, yeah.
Yeah. When was that? When was the Unabomber?
About '95, I think, is when they caught him. Maybe.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I was like nice and young at that age with Waco and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was like 9, 8, and I was like my kids' age where it was
Yeah.
like I could, and we watched the news. I don't let my kids watch the news.
Good call.
Like they let me watch the news. Bad call. Don't let your children watch the news.
Yeah.
What
worse than
Waco
porn.
did you try to go over there and join?
No, I was 9. Like they wouldn't let me out of the house.
Maybe
I have been
maybe
invited to
walk.
camp on that land since.
Yeah. What do they do there? They just camp.
I don't know. The way I was invited was through a place I used to work at in Denton. Like I knew this dude when I was in college there, and I bartended for a little bit. And I went back up there about 5 years ago and saw the guy, and he's like, "Hey, we're going out to the fucking Branch Davidian land to camp out." And I was like, "You want to go?" I was like, no, because I hung out with them back in the day, and they were like into cocaine and partying,
Yeah.
which is fun. Like nothing wrong with that. It's good American stuff. But like there's some dark sides to it.
Yeah.
I've never
Quite a few.
necessarily been interested in. So to introduce a little bit, this is the Conspiracy City podcast. I am RJ Avery. This is where I basically interview some people I like and know, and we talk about whatever comes to mind. So if you like that kind of thing, keep watching. Today I have who I affectionately would call the Michiganders at the moment. I mean, because that's what is that what you call a person from Michigan?
Yes.
Michigander, right? That's what I thought.
Or the shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. Humble,
we're
humble
pretty
people,
cool.
right? Humble. Yeah, that's good. But we got Justin Essenmacher. They're in the Lions. Genivieve here, right to the next to me.
Hello.
And then Markus Olind. There on the other end, the complete opposite end.
From Germany, dude, he's a spy.
He is.
I am.
I didn't know that until today.
Yeah.
Now I don't like you as much.
Good.
I'm not as comfortable.
That's good.
Now I'm more concerned.
That's good. No,
These damn immigrants.
Back to what I said on the last part. You don't have to tell everyone everything.
That's true.
That's when I hold a little closer.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
why he does it. That's
You
why
get
he
to
says
know
that,
me, and
so
I'm
he
like,
can
I'll
hide.
let it out now.
Yeah.
Right. Genevieve, how long did you know him before he told you the truth about his identity?
Well, he's never told me the truth, but I figured it out. I connected dots.
You found the Nazi memorabilia?
I didn't know this was going to be a conspiracy podcast. I'm trying to hold my excitement because, I have theories.
Yeah,
on
she
top
has
of
a lot of
theories.
theories.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear him.
And talking to
What-
Mike more.
Yeah. I think she's all right.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. We'll start there. I think we heard your favorite conspiracy theory. We got Kaczynski.
I love a ton of them, but that's one of them.
That's one of the
9/11's my favorite, but yeah.
right. Well, I'll be honest. I like to stay away from 9/11 because it's just like I don't know. It's like
It's the big leagues, dude.
It is. It really is. Like I feel like it's stepping into territory. I'm not ready to get into science yet. I don't know. Most people have that was last night.
Oh, have you heard of COVID?
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about
Talk about
science and
conspiracy.
conspiracy, bro?
It's next level.
It is.
But Genevieve, which one of your favorite? We're gonna say the favorite because that's kind of a lame question sometimes when there's so many out there. Which conspiracy is the one that started you going, okay? Was it just being born black in America? That's part of it? That would make me fucking be pre-conspiratorial.
Yeah, you kind of got me there.
But which one literally? What's one are you into the most right now?
The story of Yakub.
Okay, let's go. I don't know. I'm here.
I'm fucking this up. You gotta YouTube this on your own, but
100%.
mad scientists, black women are the only women that can produce every single pigment and color and shade of people. That's why they said that the first one was African or what do you call it? What you call Asiatic black?
Oh, okay. All right.
And,
So Mediterranean or whatever, Middle Eastern.
Asiatic black.
Yeah.
So somewhere. Yeah, so there was a mad scientist, and so they decided to keep mixing lighter and lighter people until you got white people, right? Or lighter and lighter shades until you got that.
Right.
And then somehow, like, there was a beef between the white and the black, and so, like, whites got banished to European
areas.
Caucasus Mountains.
Oh, the Caucasus Mountains, where we get the Caucasian.
Yeah, shit like that. And then, like, it's been white people's revenge ever since to get back for some treatment that happened back in the scientific mixing experimental days.
That sounds biblical. Like,
Yeah.
It sounds like, real beef.
I like that one because it makes white people
Nervous.
No.
No?
Sure.
What?
It makes white people the victim.
Oh, yeah.
It makes white people the victim.
No, it does do that, which is I think that's top tier white people shit right there. Like that's what they do.
But that's a black people conspiracy, right?
I don't know whose conspiracy it is. It's just something I saw.
Okay. The Yakub. So is this like an ancient? Is this kind of like a Scientology thing where this thing happened like 1,000 years ago, or?
I don't know much about Scientology personally.
Okay.
I just always kind of been
say.
scared of it, so I just.
That's a good thing to do. They're pretty scary people.
But
that's what they say. Is they say like there was like the, it's kind of like the Tower of Babel in the Bible, where like there was something happened and there was a problem and everybody has beef all of a sudden now. And I don't know. That makes sense to me over a time frame. I guess like unmelanated people do typically seem to get up to a little bit more of like going around the globe and murdering and pillaging and historically.
And that's the revenge of the Yakub.
Because they got kicked out. Oh,
Yakubian
so that's the original
white
Jews.
devil.
Right? I guess.
Something
like that.
the
That's
Jews.
where that comes from?
Where did the Jews fit in that conspiracy?
Like I said.
We gotta do our own YouTubes.
We gotta do,
gotta do your own YouTube.
Gotta do your research. Well, that's the truth on any of these conspiracy theories. If you really want to do a conspiracy theory service, you have to go down the YouTube rabbit holes in different areas and find stuff and look around for it. Justin, so what's your favorite conspiracy?
To be honest, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist guy.
Sweet.
I'm more here to learn. Right. I like to learn about him because this kid Marcus knows so much about him,
right? And
he talks about him a lot, and then he gets me into it, and I'm like, wait, shit. Sometimes I used to like being oblivious to what the fuck was happening, and it's like, hey, we're just living here, and then all of a sudden you start thinking about shit, and you're like, wait, what? And then he just keeps going, and he's like, yeah, because of this and this. And I'm like, dude, this doesn't even make sense why I live right now. And then he's like, yeah, dude, I don't know why you don't know any of this. I'm like, because they didn't teach me. I'm stupid, and they did it on purpose. That's my conspiracy. He's probably schooling.
He's the best person to talk conspiracies with because he just believes everything you say. Like, there's no pushback. There's no pushback.
Yeah, because it's
just all really, and you're like, yeah, and he's like, whoa, and you're like.
So that's the dynamic of their friendship right there, pretty much?
Kind of. No, it's worse than that.
Be careful how you answer that one.
Hold on, people. The German's watching.
The German is always watching. That's what everybody needs to know. Always watching.
They are.
Always German.
It's a new breed. They look like that.
I know. Well, that's what the thing about all of this is, like, you don't know what anybody looks like anymore. Because, we've
well, that's because lizard people can change shape. Shapeshifters.
Do you believe in shapeshifters?
I do.
Oh, yeah, and I heard about them.
Okay.
I thought that was a way to lose weight. Shapeshifters.
That's a pretty
Join Shapeshifters.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah.
That would be pretty good.
I didn't really know about the lizard peoples till this year, like 2020, when this COVID shit started happening. And then he started talking about lizard people, and then I was like, this kind of makes sense. And then that Elon Musk was like, yeah, dude, I'm an alien. And I'm like, what? Maybe he is. He's building rocket ships. He's rich. He's taking over our world, and he's taking us to space with him.
I just think reptilians are just that would just lend me to think that they're just autistic people, high functioning autistic people that get the ability to do things and have lives.
I mean, have you ever seen a reptile? Pretty autistic.
Right.
The way they walk, you ever seen a gecko?
Yeah.
You ever try to make eye contact with a snake? You're like, why am I? You're only giving me one eye at a time. Come on. What's this tongue thing you're doing right now?
It's just something
Stop
I do.
biting your
it's
tongue.
Tick, dude.
I do. Yeah.
It's how I smell.
Yeah.
What? Use your nose, dude.
Yeah.
Use your nose.
Being human, I can't. That's hilarious. So if you don't know, the reason what we all have in common here would be comedy. Like I met these folks at an open mic, and so to talk about that a little bit, we're not going to talk to Markus because if you want to hear about Markus, I'm going to have a thing. You just look into Facebook for Killing in Dallas, and you'll find that one. And I interviewed him in detail about all his stuff. But how did you get started in comedy, Genivieve, or when did you start?
My very first mic was in 2015. I was a truck driver at the time, and I just always wanted to try it. And so, some bucket list shit. And I just Googled wherever I was in Minnesota at the time. And so I just went and I tried. And at the end of it, I was like, well, damn. This didn't suck.
This wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, right?
Yeah, and I didn't have anything prepared, so I tried to prepare some things, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna talk, and I did like 3 more mics maybe, and then I ended up having to go through some shit and got back in the truck and didn't try it again until 2018.
Oh wow, so it took a little. That happens a lot. I've met a lot. I mean, same thing. I went up first time, and then I said 2015, but before that, 12, I went up one time, and it I didn't skip some time. Yeah, that happens quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, so you were trying. That would be an interesting thing, though, to be a truck driver and a comic, because you can really get some help or some work.
I'm not really tech savvy, and I was trying to do something like a podcast,
Yeah.
I would just talk to myself to kind of stay alert.
Yeah, for driving.
And then
you didn't use methamphetamines like a lot of truckers?
No, I didn't.
Good job. Good job. We like that. Like people who use positive things to do their jobs.
Just hella coffee and shit. So yeah, so I'm just this would be crazy, and I tried to record something, but you know how SoundCloud it charges you after so many uploads.
Oh yeah.
So
you got to your limit.
Yeah, I got to my limit, and then you have to start making a decision, am I about to start investing in this?
Right, yeah.
And I'm just
yeah, it's not worth it sometimes. That's where I was at one point, yeah.
I wanted to get back on stage, and I wanted to do mics again, so.
Well, it's not the same thing. Doing this is not at all what being on stage is, right? I mean, yeah, so it's two separate
things. It's similar. It's similar, and the Zoom, it all has the same elements, and I do believe that you should be able to be versatile and do it all, but.
Right.
It's different.
Yeah, right?
It's different.
So did you start in 2015 too?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I started in 2015 in Ferndale, Michigan.
Okay.
At New Way Bar.
All right.
I did that. I went up, I signed up first and I went up 25th. I was there first. Paul Pipitone. Shout out Paul Pipitone. He was there first. He was waiting. Right. And I got there early because the sign up was at 9, and then I got there 8:30. I'm I'm ready to go. My mom came, my cousins came, and then it just turned into.
This is the gayest thing I've ever heard.
I know, right?
It's
Are
adorable,
you kidding me?
It
is adorable. Justin's entry into comedy.
You had friends there at your first mic too?
Yeah,
no, I had the other comic who he was my friend, but he was a comic.
You had a friend.
He told me about the mic, and he was doing the mic too. That was it.
No, I love that part because when I first got started in it, I was this dude. Y'all haven't met him because he hadn't been out during quarantine, but Wes Corwin, and he's hilarious. And yeah, I don't know, meeting him, and it was just he was hilarious, and I feel like this is why.
Dude, watching Busco blank out, watching him blank out.
I had my reptilian shake.
Oh, dude, I was watching it happen the whole thing. That's like when you pray. You watch someone, and you're like,
he also stopped. He interjected to do that.
I got it. No, but Wes's dad would show up to shows. And it was, but yeah, that's something that comedians shit on. I think a big part of comedy, or what people think comedy is shitting on things. Which, we love doing that. That's an element.
It's funny to poop on things.
Funny, and it's the way we kill time, I think,
Yeah.
as comics naturally. Like,
Yeah.
even if you're just in your head shitting on a situation you're in, I think we do that naturally as compared to some people maybe freak out about stuff. Or so, no, that's really cool that you had that much support and family that showed up.
Yeah.
And,
Well, if I would have
did all
finished
that.
the story, you'd
Yes,
find
I'm
out.
sorry.
Yeah, now.
We're also horrible at interrupting people.
Yeah,
So,
but
Jimmy,
yeah.
you being nice. You over here being quiet, not even,
Yeah.
So I mean, like when I started
what
comedy, I
happened
actually.
was- so what happened was I met this asshole,
right?
and ever since then it just sucked.
Just gone.
No,
It's been awful.
I was gonna tell
Just
you
going
that
coast
was
to coast.
she just eventually stopped showing up. Who wants to show up?
Yeah.
For that shit
for
Especially
their, for their
first year.
child.
And then at my book shows, I used to book a
It's like
hometown.
watching your kid go to AA.
Yeah, I booked a hometown show, dude, and all my friends said, you can't hold back. And I remember talking about my dick and balls in front of my mom. She stopped showing up after that. And I get it.
You get it, yeah.
Wow.
Well, hey, at least you tried.
I'm a different person now.
I would never talk about that in front of.
No, I would, yeah.
But you
I'd
would.
talk about it, but I wouldn't. I don't talk about that kind of stuff that much anymore.
No, you talk about your butthole now.
Yeah.
We moved on.
That's funnier.
Yeah, that's progressive.
Also, you can talk about buttholes, but it's usually more jokey. When you're talking about your balls and stuff, it's like,
Yeah.
which a lot of open micers do. Remember you go to
Every
the mics
day, yeah.
every day. There's like 10 comics that go up in a row. So I was masturbating.
I
at
love
my mom's
it.
house.
I love it.
I don't like.
That's what it's all about right there.
Well, see, but my thing is, anytime somebody gets on stage and like is talking about sex, unless it's a woman,
Uh-huh.
if it's a man, I assume they're full of shit.
Yeah.
Almost 99%. It's like
No,
it's
unless
like
they're
the
talking
guys who.
about masturbating.
Well,
to-
even then, yeah, but that's just sad. Like,
Yeah.
unless
But
you
that
have
can be funny.
But it can be funny if you do it.
Right, it has to be done
you have
well.
To do it well. A good
Yeah.
masturbation joke is hard to pull off these
I
days.
know
No
a guy-
pun intended.
I know a guy who
Boom.
has one.
I got great
Wanna hear
jokes,
it? It's a good
dude.
street
Oh, sure.
joke. It's a good street joke.
I mean, that's yeah. Pimp your friend. Come on.
Look at him. Look at
You
him.
can just find it on a lighter if you buy
Oh,
it.
yeah. Do I have one of the lighters with
Show
me?
him it.
What? Oh, you got it printed on a lighter?
I had it was
There it
merch.
is.
There we go. That's the punchline.
Weed whacking.
Yeah, get high and masturbate.
Okay, that's what like that's. Did you ever hear that?
It's a little quick joke, yeah.
Like Green Day. That's what a Green Day was. Like when you just smoked weed and masturbated all day. That's what
Oh, it was a
they
Green
got-
Day.
That's what they got the name of the band.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So
Down the
Yeah.
road,
Weed
fired
whacking.
up
Weed
up
whacking. Get high and
the-
masturbate. Weed whacking. Yeah, that was the joke I did for a long time. I'll probably do it tonight, you know?
why not? You got merch for it. You might as well.
Well, I'm out of
Oh.
actually those.
He sold out
I kept,
quick.
yeah, I
He
sold a
out
lot of
about-
lighters.
It was like a week. He didn't have them
A
for
lot
about
of
week.
lighters. That's my new merch. I got
Look at that.
koozies.
She's just like a store. She's
'Cause
like
I'm
the,
sober,
She's
so-
like the girl with the coat. What you need? I got.
See, that's a ride or die right
That's
there.
so slick. Like,
That's a ride or die. She's got all my merch.
Genevieve kind of scares me like a Puerto Rican woman would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just like you don't know if you said something wrong, and like your kidney just falls out. And you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm so tired.
that's good. That's why we make a good team.
I need to go sleep.
We got a black Puerto Rican woman and a bald German guy. It's great.
That's a great mix.
It is.
That's
It is. That's
conspiracy.
feisty. That's
a
angry.
conspiracy
That's not.
theory.
They're not fucking around.
Yeah, that's definitely.
That doesn't make sense.
serious.
Scam.
That's a show.
Yeah,
That's a show.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, you know what the conspiracy is? You know what it is? Jenny's the spy. Jenny's actually British intelligence.
I'm the cover.
That's what it is. She's been pushing it this whole
got it.
time.
No, because
Pushing it this whole time.
Hello.
that,
My
Hold
name's
on,
Genevieve.
that was a relief laugh because I'm like, oh shit, here comes some racist shit. But then he's like, and I was like, oh, that was just nice and silly. Thank you.
well, also she's got beautiful teeth. So she could never be
shit.
British.
No, why people do that?
What's that?
Hello, Governor. I'm Genevieve. I'm today's spy of the day.
No, it's not possible.
And
It's
not
possible.
Even, and he's not even German. He's
It's
actually just straight
possible.
American. This
Right.
is his backstory because he's waiting to get triggered by somebody because
Yeah.
she's gonna come after him and he's gonna get a call and it's gonna go biscuit or something and he's gonna go biscuit and then
Biscuits and gravy. And then he just
and then he
right into
fucking
it, dude.
snaps, dude. And then a fight for their lives, dude.
I'm trying to figure out what my trigger word is. I know I have one. I know I was
That's the
programmed
opposite
by.
of the safe word. Right? I guess,
Yeah.
The trigger word.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Safe word is
See,
stop. Trigger word is go.
when you shave
know what I'm saying?
when you shave your beard, it's the trigger. It's the you had to wait this much time.
I'm building weapons of mass destruction inside of my beard.
No, that's the stupidest thing you've ever said in your life.
Nah, that's not.
Why do you think
possible.
terrorists have big
That's
beards?
Way stupider thing.
They never check your beard. What are they gonna? They never check your beard at the airport.
You can easily.
They do a metal detector, but they never check your beard.
That's true. That's true.
This beard is like Hermione Granger's bag. You know what I'm saying? That's a Harry Potter deep cut right there. And you just keep putting more stuff in there.
It doesn't.
It's infinite. Infinite. You
It's
can
like
just
their
put
little
more.
tents they could build where you go on a tent.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want that.
I want that.
Yeah, it would be neat.
Do you think it's ever gonna happen? Do you think we ever gonna get some Harry Potter stuff?
Magic?
Like real?
No, I don't think magic's gonna happen.
I mean, I think our phones are pretty magical at this point. Like,
Yeah.
if you think about it, though, the Harry so the live pictures that you can take with your phone now, they do like the quick thing where they move. They're just like the Harry Potter pictures, though.
Yeah.
Like the ones
Want to
in
hear
the
my
movie.
Steve Jobs conspiracy?
Oh, here we
Genivieve,
go.
I'm here to hear pretty much anything you want to say. Yeah. What is it?
So Steve Jobs set it up. First of all, he's in a tank somewhere. Like he's
Yeah.
not.
He's not dead.
He's
No.
frozen or chronically.
Oh, okay. It's
whatever.
cryogenic, like a Disney
is?
thing.
And
Steve Jobs.
there is a software or whatever technical term that's in all of the Apple products that can't be set off, because if you were to bomb, like if you were to use the iPhone, because everybody has some type of Apple product by now close
Right.
to them.
Especially-
so if you could have some type of setup to make them all go off at the same time.
Dude, that's the Kingsman. You ever watch
So you're saying he's
Kingsman?
going to blow up all of our phones from the grave?
That's why I keep the old one.
It would
Smart.
make sense. I mean, the stuff with the 5G is not better. My service sucks, actually. I switched over to AT&T and got 5G and the new iPhone 12. I fucking hate all of it.
You
And
see, that's not conspiracy
This
theory
is-
guy shit.
No,
The
wait,
conspiracy
wait.
theory guy does not get all the new
But
stuff.
wait.
No, he's just mad at his capitalism isn't working correctly.
Yes,
Not
thank
for
you.
him.
And this is what it is. This is what it is about it. This is what it is about it. Then my conspiracy theory is I keep hating my phone, and it knows that I hate it, so it just keeps getting fucking worse.
I think that if you
That's a good conspiracy.
Now, if you believe in because you could mix like the whole mystic voodoo ideas with technology.
Yeah.
And now technology is becoming sentient with
because
AI.
they want it to fuck up, so you stay in it more. So if
Yeah.
if it fucks up, you got to go into the phone a little bit more.
Yeah.
I've been
Yes,
noticing
Sam.
that on Pornhub. More buffering, keep me on there
Keep you
longer.
on there longer.
I think that's what's happening.
That might be it. I don't know. They may just want. Yeah, I don't know. I've noticed.
I don't
that.
think they want me to watch as much porn.
They probably don't. I don't know. I'm not sure who they
That's
are.
crazy.
Why would they keep you? You would think they would want you to watch porn to keep you.
They don't want me watching it. They want me waiting for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They want me on the website, but not actually watching it. It's
Porn?
buffering.
Well, I get that because everything's free. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want you to pay for it.
So I was accused of paying for porn one time, and
I paid for porn one time.
I've never been offended.
Yeah, Marcus actually.
I did.
Actually, Marcus.
And then I re-upped.
him
Well,
and
I
his
guess-
Fred brothers, right?
And then I ran out of money. No, it's just I did it, and then I sold the password to some people.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah. See, I just never like the mother of my first child accused me of that one time, and was like, "You just blah blah blah, and you're probably how much money are you spending on porn?" And I was like, "Huh?" I was like.
You would be surprised how little.
I was like, number one, and I'll be honest, I feel kind of bad about it because somebody should be getting paid, but I do.
You told your daughter this?
No, my wife. This is
Okay.
This is her mom. Her mom. Not my daughter. But yeah, somebody should be getting paid for it. But like, if I'm gonna pay for sex work, I'm gonna pay for like sex work. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a strip club or Texas or wherever you're gonna
Yeah.
do. That's that business. You
That
know?
is that business.
You know, how someone negotiates their contract in the porn industry. It's a lot like comedy or music at this point in time. It's just another art.
suck dick to get the gigs.
Oh, yeah, I don't have the. I do. There it is. It's late.
Boom.
Late and low rim shot. Oh,
Just like
That's a
that
porn
porno.
title right there.
Oh.
late and low rim shot. Yeah, I guess that would be.
Rim shot. You come
You
on
didn't get the
butthole.
whole, you didn't get the jumps though.
The
so
butthole.
Yeah.
Mine was better.
Good job, Dustin.
Thank you.
Constantly, they compare all the time.
Oh yeah, they're back and forth all the
All
time.
the time.
All the time.
I'm exhausted.
I mean, yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Well, you got a show tonight, so you've been here. Y'all recorded for 2 hours, so I hope you have the energy to.
Yeah.
This kid
On
can't
stage.
shut up.
I feed off the crowd, you know. When there's gonna be people there, man.
I do too. I love.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I really hope
You
there's
go
gonna
up there, you start talking, you hear them laughing, and maybe they're not laughing. Then you get mad at them, and that's always a good way to do a
a good
comedy, right?
relationship.
Get angry at the crowd.
So,
You know?
have y'all done it?
Comedy?
Yeah. No.
I do it
Getting
for
angry at
me.
the crowd,
Oh, yeah, it doesn't work out
yeah.
well, but it's
Wow.
fun.
I've gotten
In
booed off the
retrospect,
stage.
it's fun.
I saw it one time at Hat Tricks when I first started off. Y'all been to Hat Tricks, I'm assuming,
yeah.
at this point, right?
Too many times.
Horrible room, really, for comedy, but like it's a great place. And like a lot of people there. It's been going on for so long, so it's kind of a great place for people to get started. And my whole goal when I went up there was just, number one, I want to get everybody to pay attention. Like if I can get the bar to shut up in the back and look up at the stage, I feel like I've done something. And that's really it. And then just kind of stay on point. Because that's another thing. When there's nobody in the crowd, it's hard to not get distracted by the 3 or 4 people and try to stay on your bit, right? Well, so this guy, I'd never seen him before at a mic, ever. And I'd never seen him again. He came up and said, like, basically hello. And was like, hey, man, I saw you last week. I like your set. I was like, oh, cool, you're going up. So he went up at Hat Tricks, and no one was paying attention because that's Hat Tricks. Yeah. And, he goes ape shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah. That's not the move. That's not the move.
Well, he didn't stick around because I would have talked to him. He literally just went off and then went off about military service.
Oh, yeah.
Another bad one. And I was like, and then, but like I said, had he gone on stage and like stayed, I probably would have talked to him. But what's going on, dude? Because
I love your material, bro.
Please don't bomb the stage, bro.
I think I saw that one bit before, though. To be honest, that one where you say fuck everything.
It's been done before.
You guys do have a lot of military presence down here, and that does make open mic fun. It makes open mics fun.
It makes it more diverse.
I've already gotten threatened to fight at Hat Tricks. Hat Tricks almost came at he almost came at me.
By
he was watching the
by Game Watcher.
He was watching the Steelers.
Game Watcher.
He was watching the Steelers, dude, and he was
a fan.
I was on stage, and he was just like, and something happened. He was losing. His team was losing.
Yeah, his team was down.
And then they got something good, and he's like, he was the loud guy because he wanted the attention there.
Right.
And I go, wow, dude, you have nothing better to do with your life, like in sports. He was like, fuck you, bro. I'm gonna smack the shit out you. I was like, dude, really? And then I kept doubling down. Yeah. As you do.
As you do. Once you're already in.
But then actually, after a minute, I saw his face, and he goes, dude, I will take you outside. I think he's starting to, like, really threaten me.
Yeah.
And I stopped because it was going to get to the point of maybe a gun.
It's never worth it.
Well, we I think we touched on this in conversation before recording, but yeah, Texas, one of the things about it, I'm a very pacifist type of person. Like, online I joke around and whatnot, but I don't get into threatening people, and that's all nonsense.
Yeah.
But there's people in this state that you don't want to fuck with, and do take whatever seriously. And like you alluded to, we do have a large military and even police presence here. We have. I can't tell you how many cops from New York and other areas retire in Texas.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's a thing, and some of those folks have not worked through those traumas in their life, and unfortunately are bringing it to a comedy show. In their defense, we are typically doing comedy shows in places that they want to just watch a game. But also Hat Tricks has been doing it for 5 years, so you should know it's going on there. But you got to be careful here. This isn't California.
He comes every week, and he keeps watching sports.
Oh, he's still there? Okay, that's good.
The thing is, it's just
he was drunk as shit. He was drunk as shit.
That's one of the things about comedy is entry-level comedy, open mic comedy is so just like this is a challenge.
Oh yeah.
You are playing basketball. It's like trying to play golf in the middle of a city. You know what I'm saying? Everyone else is like, you're playing golf right now? And I'm like, I'm trying to get better at golf. And they're like, you just hit me with the fucking golf ball. I'm like, I didn't want to do this. I didn't sign up for I'm doing my thing. Yeah. I mean, you're just playing golf in the middle of New York City. And I'm like, yes. That's what open mic comedy is. You're just not in the way.
Especially at venues that aren't comedy clubs, and
which honestly, is open mics.
All open
every
mics.
Open mic.
Every open
mic. And then most people that are trying to golf are hammered drunk or on drugs, which it's very hard to hit a ball.
Yeah. And no golf experience.
No golf.
No golf experience.
And they somehow got the golf cart, and they're fucking driving and hitting everybody.
Oh yeah. No, well that's just that's good old fashioned privilege. That's North Texas privilege there. Not just North Texas, but that's. I think that happens in all elements.
People. Open mic is a battle with society. It's really it's
Detroit,
deep, dude.
Detroit.
Everywhere, but
well, so y'all come from Detroit. So how is that scene comparatively? I mean,
just like how we described.
Just like we said earlier, everything's the same almost as far as the scenes.
It's pretty intense.
It's very segregated.
Really?
Yeah.
Like there's the black scene, there's the mainstream white scene, then there's the alt hipster scene.
Okay, we have a similar dynamic.
Again, every place has that kind of, but it's how it is.
That's how everything lines up in a weird way. That's why I like I don't know. That's why I like getting in myself, just so whoever comes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And there's everywhere. There's people who do all of it.
Right.
You know, and those are normally the people who end up being funny. But
typically, yeah, because they get around. And
you get experience. You're like, this joke works everywhere.
Well, and learning how to play to different crowds, because no matter how we're going to do comedy, you know, marketing is not going to change a lot, and people are going to always market some of this stuff pretty low level, you know, to certain crowds. This is your demographic.
Well, if you can only perform in front of a certain demographic, you're not going to get that far.
Yeah, you're going
to. Also, I can't stand those people.
Yeah, it does get annoying because it does get in the way. Because to me, if you're going to do comedy, you got to allow people like Chappelle talked about it. He was talking about how, I think it was in his Mark Twain acceptance. He was talking about how. You know, he sees comics goes up, and he said a comic says a racist joke, and he's like, I know that motherfucker means that shit.
Yeah.
But they are friends in comedy, and it ain't that serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are beliefs that these people are getting into. And that comic he's talking about is probably not a comic he hangs out with or is really close with, but he's a peer of his.
Right.
And they weren't trying to destroy each other. And now it seems like, this element of like, you know, these people from completely different backgrounds are trying to just make jokes, and it's very retaliatory and it's weird.
It is weird.
You know, because if you're just trying to make people laugh, if you have a wall, then you're a propagandist now. You're not like a comedian anymore.
Those are the most woke people.
Right.
Yeah,
that
most woke
propagandist
will be like, don't say that, but only perform in one room.
Right, which is not comedy, you know. I mean, to me, if you...
But are the biggest judges of comedy.
Right, well, because they have the most time, that's why.
They do have a lot of time. It's so much time.
They ain't doing shit. They're watching other people do shit, so...
But on the internet, they're doing a lot of shit.
They are, which that's, you know...
That's the best thing.
The internet is all about showing how busy you look.
Right.
Not how busy you are.
It's amazing. Have y'all thought about using an online life coach, like someone you would find on Facebook or something like that? Have you seen these people?
What?
These are hilarious.
Don't.
There's real ads. It's a real thing. Like people.
I'll be someone's life coach if they'll pay me to tell them what to do.
No,
I'm assuming it's a sign.
Coach.
No, well, actually, that's funnier. I said life, but like
life.
But yeah,
like a live show, like a coach who tells about live.
Yeah.
Want to go ahead and push a little harder. Go push a little harder. Got a second half. Sorry.
I don't know what accent he has, but it just
it goes twang sometimes.
It was Texas mixed with heart attack. That's what that was.
That's what it sounded like. Yeah. Mixed with a little
mild heart attacky at the end.
Mild stroke.
Mild stroke. There you go. It's probably right.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it's y'all got me off. I don't know what we're talking about now.
We're talking about life coaches on the internet. Life coaches.
Well, no, they say, I don't know. I've never clicked on one or checked into them because why would I? But
I thought a laugh coach, dude. I thought a laugh coach was like somebody,
he said
like some basic white girls. Like I go on the line and then I just go there and I tell him my jokes and he laughs. And then it makes me feel good. And I'm a comedian.
It's possible. Well, laugh coaches. Locally, you got Dean Lewis. He's a coach. He's a teacher of comedy. So
comedy classes.
Coaches,
yeah,
I don't know. I saw somebody talk about that. I get it now, having done it for a while. Taking a comedy class, I think, would be beneficial for just some basics. Knowing like the stuff of like where to hold the mic.
Do you have the money to do it? Do you want to take the class? Yeah, it's like if you have the money and you want to take the class, take the class. If you don't have the money. If you don't have the money, don't take the class. If you have the money and you want to take the class, take the class.
Yeah. What do you recommend?
He just did.
It depends on if you have money.
He can never answer a question just as a question.
Right.
Do it. Take a class. Yeah. Take a class. You're not going to get tons out of it, but you'll get something out of it, even if it's just organizational. Like, hey, I'm doing this. Like if you're just starting and you're like, I need the organizational.
There you go.
I'll teach a class, but it's
because you know what they say: those that can't teach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was
You gave me the drums already.
I know, but
you saw Marcus's face. He was hurt.
No, the drums were ironic to begin with.
He's thinking of something mean to say. Look at him.
I'm just watching you.
He's looking at me.
I'm just watching you. I'm just watching you dig a deeper hole.
What hole am I digging? The hole to success? I know. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Again, you can't stop the band. They're here for me.
Nah, it's good. It's good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it is good. I don't know. Leading to that, like, The comedy class thing is interesting. I don't think people should get shit on it for doing it.
I took a class.
Yeah, it's I've seen people.
You did?
Yeah.
No.
It's necessary.
I'm sorry I wasn't broke enough to not take a class.
Well,
okay. Or what was
what
it?
it was.
Why didn't you do
There he
it?
goes. I knew I.
Because I knew you had the money, so it wasn't the
Look at
money.
him, dude. Look at it.
That's what it
No,
was.
I realized. I realized
You could benefit from one.
I was a man. Hey, you.
They'll
remember-
teach you how to like be organized, have a set, like put a set
Mine
together.
was a joke, man. You said the
like a
you said
set,
kill me earlier,
like a
bro.
set, like
Yeah.
a organ, like you do a set, like you do it a lot, like like an act, like a coherent structure.
But Justin, I think Justin's. Your freaking out stuff's very funny though.
Yeah,
Get that. Thank
it's
you.
just you know what? It's hard to replicate that and to book it for a weekend of shows.
Because
I want him to do that same freak out every show, and you're like, oh no, that's a genuine freak out. Like I don't know if I'm going to get that for the Late Show. What am I going to get for the Late Show? Oh, I'm going to get a whole different Justin for the Late Show.
This doesn't help me get booked, Marcus. If you help people, about
Take a
what the fuck
class.
is going on.
You asked me. Take a class. You should take a class. You should.
I didn't ask
you
you.
should.
I said,
you should take
should
one.
they? I
You
didn't
should
ask
take
if
one.
I should take one.
No, you said I should teach one, and now I'm saying you should take one.
It's a good one.
That's a good
Hit
one.
the-
It's not. It's just the truth. It's not even a joke. It's you should.
I know he got.
It'd be
hurt.
fun for you.
He got hurt.
It'd be fun for you.
Look how hurt he got.
How much fun do you like watching these two hurt each other?
Justin, you should. It's
No,
like a guy who just
no,
got a
you're not a
DUI
person.
should
I
take
tried-
driver's
I
training
tried to
with a bunch of
go away.
16-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's what
it's
it
like
should be
living with abusive parents, probably.
Yeah, and Marcus is the abuser.
And you're in the.
That's why he looks
I think
like
we're-
that.
I think we're
See, all
both-
He's the
stress.
woman who's standing there with a black eye, like, I don't know why he hit me after I said all those things that I said about him and his penis and his whole everything and how he doesn't make enough money and things. And then I don't know why he hit me. And you're just like,
All
really?
All I heard was
Should we roll back the tape? Let's roll the tape.
Let's see.
Put it on the board.
Watch how he does
Yes.
it.
There, she
He
said
will
the
get
thing.
louder
She
and
said the
louder.
thing.
He won't let you say one word because it's always the Marcus show.
I got a louder mic than you. Your
I
mic's
know
all
They're about the
muffled.
same.
My
Oh no,
mic's-
his is gonna be a little loud.
Yeah,
I
mine's
hear
a
you.
little lower.
Those Ray Rice.
Mine's a little
moments.
lower, and when you're
Those-
dealing
yeah.
with Marcus likes to finish his bits, and nobody else's bits matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now
He
you
didn't
get it.
know.
Now he gets
Now
it.
he gets it.
I've always got it, Marcus. It's very easy to get.
It's just not the.
If your hairline didn't give you enough attention, you get it with what you say. Damn, hit that.
That was relatively. Yeah.
This is fun.
Relatively is the key word there.
Like his
Relative.
hairline.
I get that.
Hit it, Maestro.
Yeah.
See, if you had taken a class, you'd have known
Yeah.
that that wasn't the right joke to say there.
Oh, well, did they teach you how to rebuttal at the class, Marcus?
They did.
I would
Did
just
they
say
like
the
some-
They
class.
did not actually. They didn't cover that in the class. That's you got to do that in the
You got to
field.
do that in the field. Yeah,
In
you
the
got to
field.
do crowd work in real
Yeah.
life. I don't know. The thing about the money. In my thing in 5 years of watching this stuff, I've run into too many comedians. In LA or something, I would get it. Like, I'm in LA to make it as a comedian, so I'm going to struggle. I'm going to do his job or do whatever I have to do. You know, Dallas is kind of a transitional market. So, like, people who are here, like, I have to survive. If you're trying to pay your bills off of comedy in the first year or two,
Yeah.
you're in
Tough.
for a bad fucking time.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
you know what I
terrible.
mean?
That's
just
stress.
that's just stress, and which is not going to generate good comedy because you're going to be stressed.
Yeah.
You know, like when I first got into it, I was in a bad time in my life, and just relationship was bad, and a bunch of stuff was going wrong. And even though I go back and listen to it, like none of that was horrible. And, you know, you calm down and you're like, okay, like it's not funny if you're actually mad. Like,
That's very true.
Sometimes it's not, you know. But like I said, Justin, I think does bend that curve because when he gets mad, and that's some of the best laughs I've gotten at open mics have been when I've just gone off on a rant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And because they are funny, you know.
Yeah, they can be
They
funny.
can be hilarious, but
They can also be terrible.
it's bottling lightning. You can't do
It
it.
really
again.
is.
You know?
It
fun.
is.
I mean,
Yeah.
for
You're always trying to bottle lightning. I want you to be more structured, Justin. That's all I'm saying. I want you to get booked more.
He says this 'cause he cares about you.
Yeah, I care about me.
We're just like
He
different
wins, I win
styles.
more.
It's just different
It's true.
styles,
It's true.
man. I find my style like that. I like it, and I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
By each mic I do, I think. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have more structured jokes. I've been putting in more liners in there, I think.
So do you record your sets?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If you record and listen back, and that's how I've been trying to piece stuff together.
I've been trying to, what I try to do is I try to remember kind of like the gist of what it was to get on those things, those points, and I talk about those points and I keep it natural by doing it in the moment. And I think it works for the most part. And jokes still grow. Right. But I haven't been at a show to do, I feel like when you're in open mics, it's always trying to fucking feel the room out, and you have to be on your feet. Right. And when you're starting to do like the jokes on the set, I always realize that no one's giving one fuck. And I'm like, I know the joke's gonna work this way. Right. Well, once you've done crowds, you know which of your ready material works on a stage.
But you're trying to practice new material.
Right.
Yeah, so, and I am practicing. But
that's how he's coming up with new material.
And that's how I get new material. At every open mic, if I just keep doing new shit.
Yeah. But you're doing new shit every time. Yeah, you're not honing new shit. You're not honing enough.
I do the same thing. I get it because I do the same thing.
I'm honing how I hone. Yeah. I hone the shit. No. Everybody does it differently.
Well, I hear you. Because when I first got into it up in Denton with a bunch of those comics, they were all about right. I'm
not that style.
And I'm sitting here like, okay, kids, y'all are 22, 21, 24. That's adorable. I'm 40 almost. I've got kids. I've had life experience. I'm a lot like a lot of these other open micers who are a little bit older. We have life experience. We don't really need to write. I don't need to sit here. Because what I've noticed, too, is another thing is true. If you write this great, and I heard Stanhope talk about it on his podcast, and someone even as seasoned as him was like, I can sit there and write these jokes and, like, sit there in my head and know the dynamics of a crowd and be like, this is where the punchline is going to be. This is where that's going to be. And, someone like him, probably going to be right 90% of the time. But even he said, he's like, there's still plenty of stuff you find in the middle. So I was very lucky. My buddy Josh, who's a pretty funny, Josh Johnson, he's got an album out called Tabitha that basically we were talking about. He's like, yeah, of course he writes, but he does what I was doing and what you were talking about. Just go on stage, do your stuff.
You should do that too.
Listen back to it to get new material because that's literally how I write.
Yeah.
Like I don't have time to come home and then do writing. If I'm going to do something, I'm doing something else. Like I'm trying to make money or do something.
I'm always trying to do both. I'm trying to write on stage, but also write off stage and try the stuff on stage. And then when I try it on stage, it'll probably go a different way. And then I might veer into some other shit too. I'm always trying to take both approaches.
That's exactly what I do.
That's
I write most of my ideas out. Sometimes it will hit me on stage, but the premises that you hear on stage are thoughts that I write down.
See, how you do it, Miss Genivieve? What's your process at this moment?
Both. I'm not really a riff or a crowd work person.
Yeah, I've noticed you obviously you have what you want to say kind of in mind, and you're trying to work jokes when you go up.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Which same as Marcus too. Yeah, which is great. I mean, I think that's the way to do it. And the open mics though, it's just our free-forming way, it looks way worse on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when it's bad.
When it's bad, it's bad.
When it's bad, it's bad.
It's so bad. Like when someone who's writing jokes goes up on stage, even when it's bad, it's like, oh, well, you can see that they're trying. We just look mentally ill.
Yeah, exactly. And my point is that people don't book mentally ill. People book structured.
I mean, Hollywood would disagree.
But Hollywood, they're only looking Hollywood is looking for specific little things. And Hollywood also is oversaturated with mentally ill.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Literally the whole thing.
You know how many people, you'd have to be crazy to go to Hollywood and be like, I'll just be crazy and they'll book me. And guess what? There are millions of those people. They go every year and they're like, hey, I'm the crazy one they're looking for. Yeah. And I'm like, you are crazy. And they're like, I know, but I'm going to put that out there and they're going to love it. And I'm like, you're crazy. They're like, I know. I'm like, oh, yeah. It goes in circles, dude, and then they're homeless and you're like, but they made it.
Yeah, they ended up with a costume on Hollywood or wherever in front of the Chinese theater.
Yep.
Well, y'all got a show tonight.
Big show.
Yeah.
In a garage.
In a garage.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the things I like about the Dallas scene is that there's a lot of kind of DIY stuff going on with people like Phil Garcia, who does that one. Rudy Ramsey. I haven't been to one of his shows, and I haven't been to one of Phil's show either. But because they're in Fort Worth, which for those of you not from here is the other side of the world as far as
it is
concerned. But yeah, there's a lot of great opportunities to get up and do random practice and try stuff in front of odd crowds or random crowds. I mean, I love that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Not having a I like having variables. I mean, variables always end up leading to some sort of creativity.
Yeah.
To an extent, if you have everything's controlled,
Well, the thing is, like, if you're used to that everything's controlled comedy class club type environment, then you're going to be on a show where something isn't that there's an added variable, and you're not going to be able to handle it. If you do all the shitty mics and the backyard this and the garage back alley stabby weird shows,
nothing's going to stun.
You're going to, by the time you get to a club and there's no hecklers or nothing, you just go up there and murder.
Yeah.
Because you're like, there's no one fighting me? Yeah. There's no one in the back threatening to throw a bag of piss at me? Like, this is everyone's great. Already facing me and paying attention.
Yeah, and ready to laugh.
Oh, my God. Yeah. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, this is awesome. And they're like, wow, you're so funny. How did that happen? You're like, well, you did this back alley show. And then
you get there somehow.
Yeah.
If you survive.
This was easy.
By a homeless person.
Yeah, that happens. No, I noticed that because they had DCH here before it shut down, unfortunately, because of COVID, which was great because it was a comedy school that presented itself as a comedy school, which is nice. But yeah, like there were some comedians there that were interesting folks.
Yeah.
Very much justice warrior type people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And got very upset with me just for throwing a festival. And I was like, mad about like
helping.
Don't
help.
Like, you don't know what you're doing. Like, I can't plan an event. Like, are you?
Yeah.
Do you realize the the level of entry to this thing you're trying to protect is low and hard to get into?
What you realize is the people who aren't doing anything get real mad at the people doing anything.
Yeah.
So
they want to critique it.
Who are you to do something? I don't know. Who are you to tell me not to do something? I don't know who you are. Who are you?
Well,
I'm me. I
had one of those guys. I'm not going to mention his name because it's not worth it. But so he got into the funniest comment in Texas thing, which is kind of a joke in of itself. I mean, improv is good, but none of the FCIT people have gone on and do major stuff or anything. But they're funny, But it's mainly a bringer show, an elevated bringer show for the improv locally. So this dude was on one of the showcases I went to right around this time. It was like 16, 17. And he was on stage, and I was in the second row. And there was a guy sitting in the front row. And the improv in Addison, if you're on stage, you can see the first row, but you can't see the second row, right? I mean, you really can't see it because the lights, are pretty bright. Well, somehow I heckled him. I don't typically heckle people at shows. I really never do. But this guy's such an easy mark, and he made it too easy. And But what happened was somehow it seemed like he thought the guy in the front row said it because I accidentally threw my voice over the guy, or obviously had to, and he just flips out on the guy in the front row and just like loses out on the set. I was like, that's hilarious.
That's funny.
I felt happy about that moment.
It's always fun to sabotage people's sets.
Sometimes,
I do it to Justin all the time. I got him drunk the other day.
You do it to me on air too. You say that I don't have structure and all that. You put all my shit on blast, and then you go, why can't I don't know why you're not getting
I'd like y'all to notice
because you dog me on every podcast.
As a good mom here, Miss Genivieve has been doing Sudoku
I know.
the whole time while she listens to our nonsense.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know how you might have been a saint in a previous life or something because you got some patience on you there.
Dude, those are her codes. That's how she writes back to British intelligence, right there.
Oh, the Sudoku thing?
She scans them, sends them out, dude. Faxes them. Old school.
Wow.
She wakes up early. We're not up.
Yeah.
I hear the car go. I'm like, where'd the car go? And then she comes in. Nothing ever happened.
Right, but she's
at FedEx faxing the British government.
Sudoku intelligence things.
There you go.
I think
I
they
just
got
figured
you,
it out.
Genevieve. They just figured it out.
See, figured it out. You see the glasses? They're gold and black, dude. Who wears gold and black glasses? British intelligence.
A lot of people do.
I was about to say that seems like a fairly random thing now.
Oh, see, that's how she got you. You don't got me, Jenny. You don't got me.
I'm glad we brought it back to conspiracies.
I wear these glasses to hide her glasses because her glasses can see my eyes.
So he's afraid you're going to take his soul or something like that, right? If you look him in the eye too long.
That's
what happens when you have dark eyes. Like people feel that's
Yeah, I got these pretty blue eyes, dude. You can
Those
see
are devil eyes. That's where those are devil eyes, right? If we're
You want to talk about conspiracy?
if we're being racist.
You always call my blue eyes devil eyes.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I mean, but they
Not
are
always, and no, they're not. They're just
No, that's just your eyes, Marcus. You have a very devilish soul.
That's
He's very heartless.
yeah. He does look kind of satanic. Just a little bit. He's got what's that guy's name?
Hey, did you see how
Satan?
mad he got
No,
earlier?
the guy Leventhal or James, the dude who actually did the tape satanic church.
Jim Jones.
No, I don't know. He wrote that book. Satanism cracks me up. What's that?
I know who you're talking about.
You know, can't think of his name. Leventhal or James something.
James
Yeah.
Leventhal.
James Earl Jones?
No, definitely not James Earl Jones. He was that's
John Bon Jovi.
Might be John Bon Jovi.
Okay.
It might be John Bon Jovi. But yeah, I can see that. It was a lot of red. If you dress him up in red, he could be
Cool
very-
color.
could
I'll
be
fuck
very-
with some red.
Why would the devil have
Luciferian.
blue eyes?
I think it's just like a.
He's never been portrayed that way in anything, I feel. I've never seen blue eyes.
On
in-
purpose, dude. Conspiracy.
I've never seen him blue.
They're not gonna out him like that.
What? I've heard nothing about the blue-eyed devil most of it. That's what.
Yeah. Blue-eyed devils.
That's
Blue-eyed.
That's what I was.
You know what's crazy? Where I was raised, there was only one God and one devil, guys, okay? There's heaven and hell.
Where were you
That's
raised?
it, guys.
Yeah.
We eat
Yeah.
we eat bread and
Suburban
we drink
Michigan,
wine
right?
at early
Oh no, he's from
ages.
rural Michigan.
Oh, rural Michigan.
And then I
Okay.
pray
Yeah,
and
he's
everything
from
comes
rural.
and everything works out.
He grew up
I
on a
pray
dirt
and everything
road.
works out.
Nice.
Farm country.
Okay.
All I had to do was go, I'm sorry for what I did today. I pray
And
that
you're good.
my life gets better. And then I get a good job and I raise a family.
Yeah.
And it's happy.
Happy.
But that didn't happen. You didn't raise a family.
Conspiracy theory.
Still's got time. I mean, families can come into your 50s.
That's fun. If I have a family at 50, dude, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't think I can do it. I can't.
Yeah, that'd be late. That'd be really late.
I have no energy. I have nephews, dude, and I'm like,
Dude, if you do
That's
it
the hardest
late,
part about being a parent is like, especially as a relative. I mean, I'm a relatively lazy person in general. That's the hardest part. I feel bad. Like Louis C.K. has a bit about it, being like,
just
not too
get
much.
outta here.
Just these kids, they deserve like way too more energy. But they got what they got, so they'll be
Yeah.
all right. That's what happens to most of us. Well, we're about at an hour, so we're gonna wrap it up here in a second. What about another? Cause let's end on conspiracy theory.
does anybody
We'll do one
else feel like Busco's falling asleep on us?
more. Fall asleep? No. I don't know.
yeah, you've been talking the whole time. Doesn't it make sense?
Ah!
Come on, give me.
I feel like
give me
Genevieve.
okay.
I feel like there you go. I'm sorry. I feel like Genevieve's the one.
It was a
yeah.
throat thing.
But she's probably used to not getting a word in with you guys, I'd imagine, right?
Marcus in a car? Room?
Nah.
Camera turned on, dude. Marcus. It's Marcus.
It's the Marcus Show. Well, that's what happens. It does happen. But what? All right. So what's another? It's another conspiracy that you believe. Well, I guess happened. What was that? What's that you actually think is real?
Like, why aren't there black squirrels everywhere? Some places.
Because God's racist. That's horrible.
I'll
give myself
That's
one.
a conspiracy, though.
So those.
No, that was a throwaway.
That was,
but like a real one, same old, the Rothschilds and all those guys.
So you think that's probably real, right?
I wonder, like, okay, I don't know the exact number of how many active plantations there were in the whole entire United States.
Mm-hmm.
But where did all those people go, and why can't we trace back to all that and then do reparations that way?
I think we can. With DNA, I think we can. And there was that show that did that they did some famous
CSI.
people. No, it was on the History Channel, but they did Nas actually, and they showed Nas's genealogy based on his DNA, and then because there's records of this stuff, and there's records of the thing about like evil people is they're so evil they keep records, and like that's in a weird way it's kind of a blessing. 'Cause
I keep a lot of records.
you're German, and
Yeah.
that's part of it. You can be forgiven for that, but but like you said, then what he said, it was funny in the interview. The guy said, tells him about like I think it was a great grandmother who lived on and was born on the plantation, and the grandfather, and the first thing out of his mouth was great. He was like, "Well, I'm just gonna go buy that land right now." And like obviously he's Nas, so probably he can more than likely. Now the reality of that in Texas even is No. There's places that people own the land that they won't sell to certain people, and that's real. That's a real deal thing that's had to been busted up in a lot of ways, and thankfully it has been. But yeah, like that's definitely, I think we can. I think through genealogy and stuff, we're going to be able to find that stuff. And sad part is you have to have the money and the resources to look into your own shit.
I thought you were going to be like, the sad part is going to be all those white people who have to pay that money.
Well, no, but like, I mean, even then, it's a small amount of white people. Like even like Kamala. I mean, our vice. That's the thing.
Yeah, she owned slaves.
Like she was one of the descendants of an owner.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother twisted story. You start
for real?
That was a perfect segue into which conspiracy theory I think is real.
Right. Which is, go ahead.
Kamala Harris is a lizard person, and she's using Joe Biden to get lizard people back in charge. She's not the first lizard person president. Dick Cheney was a lizard person,
right?
Using George Bush as a front. All right, George H.W. Bush was a lizard person using Ronald Reagan as a front.
Right. Okay.
All right, this shit goes deep. All right, okay. Richard Nixon, lizard person.
Wait, so the vice president you're saying is the actual president?
Sometimes it depends.
It depends on who's in charge.
If she's electable, yes.
Right.
She wasn't, so she is.
Yeah, I think they just already chosen Biden. I don't know, but like Kamala Harris, like her family. That's the thing, is it gets so, I don't know, convoluted. But
yeah, I mean,
but obviously, yes. Yeah, so I think what Genevieve is saying is that that racism is a real conspiracy that we should all believe in this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, no, I know that, but Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris is the weird one because
if my last conspiracy for this podcast.
Have you ever heard of Frances Cress Wilson?
Shoot.
Or is it Wilson? Well, it's her theory is that basically the white man is scared of genetic annihilation.
Right. Which I would kind of agree with that idea. That's why they're so sensitive. Oh. But that makes sense. Yeah. So what else did she do with it?
Well, she went on Phil Donahue. Remember that show back in the day? Farrakhan was on there.
Oh, wow.
So Muhammad was on there. Like, he used to have, like, some interesting panels and shit.
Definitely. I forgot about Donahue.
She said that white people are jealous of melanin. That's why we like chocolate and give each other chocolate on Valentine's Day.
Well, see,
that's when she lost me. I was like, this lady's crazy. I disagree with that woman.
Well, and the thing is, I think that what I think is happening there is interesting. I think that there's a real personal trauma that herself and black folks, especially in the southern United States, have gone through that makes them kind of like, you overanalyze it's just like anytime anybody goes through a PTSD situation, they start overanalyzing everything and trying to figure it out. And
no, what I think it really was is reverse propaganda, because there's been so many campaigns that were used against not just us. I know there's a lot of marginalized people, but the only ones I really know about, or I don't want to say care, but like it's mostly been about like trying to reverse every single narrative, because all the narrative steer towards like being in a negative light of some sort, and docile, subordinate type, way. So it was. I get what they was all trying to do. I get what all. I don't know if y'all listen to Farrakhan.
I've listened to some of his stuff. Yeah, I mean,
he wants separate societies.
I think I do think he's as. I mean, at his nuts, he's as racist as a white supremacist, but I think he has some virtue in what he's saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well...
Because what he's saying makes sense, because you're coming out of a direct history of actual oppression, whereas, to an extent, most white folks really aren't coming out of that, at least from having to deal with it in a social way of, like, just the shallow, like, people seeing people and saying, I judge you because you look that way. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm kind of all over the place, because like I used to meditate and kind of pray that like the whole world kind of got shut down.
Well, it just did recently, so you won.
Yeah, before, so that's why I was like, and that's another thing that I'm scared.
Thanks, Jenny.
Scared to meditate and stuff on, because I'm like, well, I'm kind of sick about all this race and gender and all this politics, everything. I'm kind of sick of everything.
Right.
And I really don't have much to contribute. But if we ever get to the point where like all the black people got together and said, you know what, we officially break up with y'all. then I would break up. But then, and then like if all the women was like, you know what, we just all together done with men, then I'm like, all right, gotta go.
Go. Well, I get that. I think we're moving out of it. I think that's the way we've been all through history. Like whether it be here in Southern America with whites and blacks, or it's in Palestinians and Jews on the other side of the world, or whether it's 2,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago.
It's just funny.
I think we're getting to the point now.
On the camera, it looks like you're trying to touch her hair.
Oh. No, I don't do that.
Okay,
but yeah, I think we're at this point now in history where in the United States, to an extent, after they killed all the Indians, has become a place where everyone is here now from around the world. And yeah, we're all working through that nonsense and figuring it out. I think comedy is a great way to start because everybody's trying to come through a place of the same thing of just trying to make things lighthearted. But like, yeah, like it's a real history, and there's no way to like for someone like I feel like most white people, like they have no team to go to other than the white team. But even the thing about the white team is they all stab each other in the back.
I have Team Germany.
That's true.
I have a team.
You have a team,
and I will go to
Son
it.
of a bitch.
If she goes to Team Black and Team Woman, I go to Team Germany.
Okay.
And just know she started it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hear the kids playing outside, so I probably should get this wrapped up so y'all can get to y'all's show and do your thing. So once again, I got Genivieve right here to my right. I wasn't trying now.
See what I'm saying? It looks exactly like it. It looks exactly like you're trying to touch her.
That makes me look. Yeah.
It's fucking funny.
So now I'm super racist. Can't touch your hair like that.
That's funny.
That's funny. Yeah.
That's comedy.
Hey, I used to have when I had long hair, I'd have people come up to me and touch my hair.
People touch my beard all the time.
So weird. It's
all
so
the time.
When you're pregnant, I mean, obviously I've never been pregnant. When my wives were pregnant, people just come and want to touch. It's such a strange.
The way you said that when my wives were pregnant.
Well, like,
it's like, what are you, Mormon?
No, but like I had one baby mom. But both times we experienced where you're out in public and someone like just comes up and tries to touch you, and it's like that's such a weird thing. I get it. Like that's just annoying no matter what you're doing. But so Genivieve, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming with these guys. Yep. Marcus, thank you. Justin, thank you. Appreciate all that y'all do and show them to the mics and whatnot. And enjoy your show. Come back to see us.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.